Behind me I've got a bunch of little mini miners, but today we're going to focus on the SC Box. It mines Siacoin. I just recently got it in. We've been covering Siacoin for way too long. So this is a little mini micro miner. It earns passive income 24/7, 365. It's pretty cheap. It's under $1,000. And you may be like, $1,000? Like, dude, look, mining rigs are not cheap, especially these days. But is this one even worth buying? Right? Is Siacoin, which basically wants to be decentralized cloud storage, are they likely to make it? We're gonna be touching on that, how to set up this miner, where to get it, is it worth it, daily profitability. We're gonna run through everything in today's video. My name is Vosk on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. We're going 10 seconds of tails every video, but we're moving it towards the end of the video, which means should we pump it up to 15? Let's go. Another day, more mining rigs, and of course, it's always not financial advice. Full disclaimer, I'm biased. I love mining. It's an incredible way to earn passive income. We reviewed almost the entire box series, still trying to get a KD Box Pro into review, but we have reviewed the KD Box, the CK Box, the HS Box, the Mini Doge, and super proud to even have our own special edition of that, the beloved Tails edition. And right now I'm working on a review for the SC Box and the LB Box, which we just got in. So let's run the specs here, right? Siacoin computer server, the Goldshell SC Box. This is a mini mining rig pushing out 900 gigahash a second of hash rate power. We've talked about Siacoin so many times over the years, right? So decentralized storage for the post-cloud world. Look, they were involved in so much crazy drama when Bitmain beat them to market on ASIC miners with the Antminer A3, and then the InnoSilicon, what was it, S11 came out later and became the dominant one. They had basically co-founded their own Siacoin ASIC mining company called Obelisk. A lot of drama, very interesting. So basically they pitched ASIC mining. They're like, ASIC mining is better than being GPU mined and whatever else. And then someone beat them to market with ASIC mining. They cried about it, but it's what they wanted, right? But they had raised millions of dollars to bring their own ASIC miners to market. So then they had a secret kill switch where they changed the mining algorithm, and the Antminer A3 became a just door stopper, but it made a ton of money and mined a ridiculous amount of coins prior to that. I should actually dig up that video and look up the address I had on there and then punch it into the Siacoin block explorer, but I just remember mining a ridiculous amount of Siacoin. It was insane. I just happened to be on late night and Bitmain was like, hey, we're dropping a new miner, bull run style, let's go. And I was like, okay, cool. I was already up doing mine and stuff. Whoosh, put an order in and got one in the first batch. It was making $500 a day with the second I plugged it in. Like, that's just some crazy 2017 bull run stuff. But anyway, they changed the algorithm again later on. The Obelisk miners became super profitable yet again, and they released a second batch, completely redid the design. It was better, but very small, loud fans on them. Just what a whole thing. Coolest looking ASIC miners by far though. Black cases, red, nice like kind of velvety finish on them. But those have kind of since faded into obscurity as they're just not all that profitable anymore. Goldshell is actually creating the most profitable and also because it is the most profitable, most efficient Siacoin miners now. This is actually the only interesting Siacoin miner to come out anytime soon. Oftentimes with smaller box miners, we see full-scale miner releases later on as well, like big industrial style, like suck up all your electric style. So I also want to take one other step back. You know, that's kind of a crash course on some stuff that happened, and your head's still probably spinning. Hopefully some of these old school video clips will help get you up to speed a little bit more on that. My summary is that personally, I don't think Siacoin is going to succeed and do well, but I hope that they do. Which that probably doesn't even make any sense for someone in crypto. Because we're in a space where if you like a project and you want them to succeed, you just keep ranting and raving about them, but whatever. Again, not the point. So back to the miner. This is a little device that earns passive income, mining a project, proof of work mineable, right? Siacoin, that does have the Lindy effect going for it. This is an older cryptocurrency. It's been around for many years now. And getting set up is real easy. You take it out of the box, you look at it, you go, wow. Then you plug in a 6-pin PCIe connection. You could use the Goldshell power supply if you want to. You can use a PC gaming ATX power supply. All you need is a 6-pin port, right? You can use a server power supply or an ASIC specific power supply, which is really just a server power supply PSU, like the Antminer power supplies and so forth. All those options, you just got to get power to it safely, right? If you want to use a typical US wall outlet, you'd be using a NEMA 15 plug. If you got a PDU, you're probably looking at C13, C14. If I'm saying this and you're like, whoa, what? Well, pay attention to the pictures on screen, but also check out our electricity guide where I dive into all of this. I also have a longer video on how to set up an ASIC miner. I recommend you check that one out as well if you're completely new to this. But yeah, you plug in power. Okay, then you plug in Ethernet, or you can use Wi-Fi if it has the Wi-Fi adapter on it, but you should really just use Ethernet if you can, and there's ways you can always make sure that you can. So then you got power and Ethernet or internet, and that's all you need. But then you need to get the IP address and log in. I just log into my router, I grab it, I punch it into my browser like shown. It'll be locked, so you click unlock. You also click over to English. Most likely 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 is the number that you are looking for. You logged in. Okay, right now average hash rate 925 gigahash a second. That's fantastic. That's better than it's supposed to be doing because it's supposed to be hashing at 900 gigahash a second. Always happy to see them underrate miners and then watch them overperform. This is the Goldshell SC Box operating on firmware 2.2. If you ever want to update the firmware, you click on System, you come down here, you download firmware, make sure it's from the official Goldshell GitHub, right, or directly linked from their site. You upload it just by clicking on that. But remember, this is, in my opinion, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it works and it's fine and it's stable, leave it alone. Mini-Doge just had a batch of just firmware that wasn't getting it done. So later firmware came out that made them stable. That was a prime example of you should definitely upgrade the firmware. These things are going down every 4 days. But if they're working, leave them alone. You also need to sync it up to your mining pool. How you do that? So double check that this thing can only mine one algorithm. That's the case here. Blake2B, SC Siacoin, right? That's all this thing mines. So we come back up to pool settings. We click add. We use DX Pool. I'm a big fan of DX Pool. They support all these altcoins that I've been mining lately. They also have a referral system. Please use your boy's link if you enjoyed the video and it's helpful at all. Stuff like that really supports us long term. I also am getting better mining profitability than on Luxor F2 Pool in my limited testing, but your mileage may vary. We use whatever pool you want to use ultimately. I'm not here to push a pool on you super hard, but I'm using DX Pool. And the leading reason why is I'm getting more mining profits, and that's kind of the name of the game. You have to make an account on there. So mine's VoskCoin. Then you put in whatever worker name you want for this device. When I'm doing reviews like this, it's called SC Box, so it's very clear and I remember and I know, and it shows well on screen. You want to give it a fun name? I mean, you name it, Murloc. I don't know, whatever you feel. Password, anything you want. 1 2 3 will get the job done. You can literally type anything. You click save and it comes up here. You can add a backup pool as well if you'd like to do so. The way that Goldshell has made it so easy to just click these buttons and it inputs the pool information, like if you just start mining and that's the kind of experience you have, what a world you're living in. Because it was not like that before. And setting up the pool wrong, you're not mining and maybe you think you did, you check back a day later and you miss a day of mining in super profitable environments. It's insane how just crazy this stuff was and how difficult it was. Just even little things in comparison to how it is now. It's pretty foolproof, it's pretty easy. So we do that, and now we are set up here over on the DX pool, right? So we can see, we look back, it's just been hooked up a couple of days so far, but definitely got some solid data here. So we have a full day average hash rate of what it's supposed to be, or maybe that didn't even turn out to be a full day, or whatever reason, it hit exactly where it's supposed to. Next day it's hashing almost 10% higher. I guess that's 7.5% higher than it's supposed to be. Then the next day, about 5.9% higher than it's supposed to be. This is important because your pool hash rate is what you get paid off of. Like the miner can say anything on the box, but your registered hash rate on the pool is how your earnings are computed. That's a simple way to explain that. So the higher your registered pool hash rate, the more profitability you're gonna have. You can click on manage and get a basic readout over here. It's not giving me a 1-day breakdown like they do on some of their miners, but again, we can get that from this my page right here and click on day and see this daily registered hash rate. Clicking over to profits, we can see that yesterday we mined 145.6 Siacoins. And let's break down, exactly what that comes down to. So we click over to CoinGecko, pull it up, 145.6 comes out to about $1.40 a day. Looking at the profitability of this coin, right? All-time high over 4 years ago, it's down 90% from there. Wow. Last 14 days, it's up 13%. Over the last year, it's decreased 57%. But a very big thing to note is that volume has just astronomically taken off with this project. Not just last year, but even this year, we're seeing very high volume compared to the history of this project, where it was doing a couple million a day. Now, even on these low, it doesn't even show up on the max chart down here. It's still doing maybe 10, 20x that daily volume. And I'm not talking about these higher points where they're potentially doing even more. And look, there's a lot more to it. We're not going to jump into all the technical analysis where I'll look at the chart and draw some things and make up whatever I want and try to act like I'm some super guru, trading guru that knows everything in the future. Buy my paid course and join my paid Telegram Discord server and blah. No, not today. None of that. Really, that's the basics of this scenario. This is a project with a very big market cap, $500 million. It's not small, right? It's ranked 153 by CoinMarketCap, just based off of their market cap here. So I personally have my earnings being auto withdrawn from the pool. We can see the exchanges that are supported here. So what I personally recommend is that you just have it auto withdrawn right into crypto.com. You can use our link down in the video description below, get $25 for free. But I just have my coins shoot right out there. And from there, I trade it into whatever I want or hold the coins, if I want to do so. One thing that could get you bullish on Siacoin, though, is their Sia Sky or their Skynet. If you're maybe it's crazy. You gotta be a little older maybe to even get the reference here, but Skynet. Oh yeah, look it up. Is a hosting platform that makes it easy to join the decentralized internet movement. You create your account today. But what is Skynet, right? It's an open protocol for hosting data and web applications on the decentralized web using Sia. Think Web 3.0, but they're the platform. That's basically what we're dealing with here. Look into it if it's interesting. We could spend a whole video kind of diving into all this. This is where they seem to be investing their time and money, and kind of where the project has really pivoted towards.
Hey guys, it's Miss Vosk here to tell you about Modern Poker Club, which is a new play-to-earn MMO game for poker players in the metaverse. They're launching 10,000 NFTs in their inaugural collection, and these NFTs are your ticket into the game. Among the NFTs are 4 factions: sharks, fish, donkeys, and whales. They say they plan to host a $100,000 tournament for the top holders of each faction, and 20% of all tournament money is distributed to the NFT holders of the same faction as the winner. Users are also able to buy, sell, and trade land to host private games, and the platform also has exclusive coaching videos for all skill levels. Their whitelist is just about to open, and their public sale will be launching soon. It's hosted on the Ethereum blockchain, so watch out for high gas fees. Check out the link in the video description below to learn more about Modern Poker Club. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research before investing.
So jumping back to SC Box though, right? $6.99, $7.99 with their power supply. To keep it simple, I honestly recommend that you just grab it with the power supply. There are some other options which we already talked about. You can do that if you'd like to. I'm using it with the power supply right now. Make sure it's inserted all the way. If you do not insert these pins all the way, it will malfunction and it will damage the pins, or at least the power supply, and you need at least a new power supply, if not a new PCIe connection there on the board, if that's all that's actually damaged. So don't be afraid or anything. Just don't push too hard, because these things are kind of fragile. Just be very firm and look at it from the side. You can see that it's fully mated right on the connection on the PCIe slot. So at about $1.40 a day, you're probably pulling about $511 a year. However, consuming 200 watts on a residential electric rate, say like 10 cents per kilowatt hour, you could be trending towards $1 a day in electricity consumption. So if you're actually only pulling, say, like 40 cents a day, well, let me pull up my handy dandy calculator. 146 a year is how much you'd be making. This thing is not super lucrative, right? But it does earn more money than it burns in electricity, most likely. Again, I mean, you know, it's a project that's been lackluster in price. I think that the best play for this is speculative mining. If you think the project's cool and you want to support it, absolutely grab a miner. If you're a hobbyist and you just want a cheap miner, you want to get into mining, learn more about it, and make some cash on the side or stack up some coins, it's a great opportunity. If you think you're going to be rich tomorrow with an SC box, you're going to be sadly mistaken. This is, again, I mean, I love the box miners. I think I think there is some criticism on them because of profitability, but that's the thing, they're scaled down. They're less efficient. And their price, you know, per hash is a little bit higher because they're just more of a consumer product, right? You don't build out a massive industrial mining farm with box miners. You get full-scale amp miners or the full-scale Goldshell miners, right? They're the big boys, 4 fans, huge. You pull your back when you pick them up. That's not what these are for. They're quiet at-home mining. They're really leading the charge for decentralized mining. I've made a couple videos even just raving about box miners. I think they're so freaking cool. Goldshell doesn't pay me millions of dollars or something to say that, like some of the conspiracy theorists have down in the comments below. I don't know how you can love crypto, love proof of work, love mining, or even like any things, or even just not even hate them, and not think things like this are just absolutely thrilling, right? Lowering the barrier to entry. You want to get a Bitcoin miner? Hello, 10 grand. See you later. Now I have this ant miner, right? For less than $1,000, you could get into numerous altcoin miners with the Box Miner series. That is really cool. That is really cool. And I get it. I mean, it may take a couple years to actually break even, especially depending on the coin you mine, especially if their price is lackluster or never recovers, or, you know, obviously these are alternate cryptocurrencies. They could just die, right? Just like any other thing, like they could just fall off and, you know, that's it. That's kind of the end. Maybe somebody could pick them up. These things are supposed to all be open source and decentralized. But at the end of the day, Siacoin Inc., whatever they call it, like Nebulous Labs, I forget what they call their company, but they raise millions of dollars. So they have funding, they have people on payroll, right? So this is one of those things where they have outside funding to continue their endeavor here. If they quit, you know, that's a very interesting scenario. Normally any decent actors would just completely open source every single thing they have, and they just be like, yeah, you know, been working on this for 10 years, kind of done, moving on, hope someone else picks up the torch. If not, hey, whatever, right? So yeah, it's one of those things, buy the miner if you want to. It's just that simple. For me personally, I've had a good experience with it so far. It's been reliable. It earns more money than it burns, which is all you can ask for, right? Because here's the deal, right? Aside from purchase price, obviously, which is part of the factor ultimately, but if you're earning more money than you're burning in electricity, it's better than just buying the coin. If I could buy $1 of this a day, or I could mine $1.40 a day and burn $1, I'm still ahead 40 cents. However, I start negative because I have to buy this device. You could say there's maintenance, upkeep, and things like that, but not really. ASIC miners especially, you know, these little application-specific integrated circuit miners, these purpose-built machines, these custom computers, all they do is mine crypto. You plug them in, you forget about it, or, you know, however we do an accent today. So, yeah, I think ultimately it's the people, I've talked about this before too, if you're passionate, you're going to do well long term. If you buy this miner and just stack up the coins for 5 years, you're probably going to do well in 5 years. Do you have 5 years? Is this the best place to put $800? It depends. It depends how involved you want to be. It depends how much you want to get into mining. It depends if you think Siacoin's cool. It depends if you're going to bet on Skynet being adopted, taken off, and, you know, leading to price action, increasing the valuation of this project, right? It's already worth $500 million. Keep that in mind for better and worse. Ultimately, to wrap up my thoughts, this is a small device that's quiet, it's easy to deploy anywhere. right? You have a small power. It only needs 200 watts. Easy to get power supplies for that, or use the supplied one, which means you can use it on 110, 120 volt, which means you can deploy it anywhere in a US household. Obviously, these power supplies support additional voltages, so that works throughout the world as well. It earns more money than it burns, which is good, right? It's not a losing device. I mean, again, run your electricity rates. If you have a terrible electricity rate, it actually may be a losing device. But a couple solar panels could completely change the game here. But obviously, you would have to pay those off as well. As always, it depends how involved you want to get in to the mining game. Personally, I'm stoked to see another mini box miner come to market. It's not the most lucrative, and it's not the most interesting one to me. But still happy to see it overall. Just like I hope you are overall happy to watch this video. Just like I hope you're happy to see Tails, our CEO, our Chief Efficiency Officer here at the VoskCoin YouTube channel. She runs all the electric rates, among many other things, our beautiful Tails. She's also the owner. So slap that subscribe button if you want to see more Tails and less of me. Or actually just slap it anyway. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what mining rig we should be giving away next. As always, I appreciate you guys who tune in and watch the videos all the way through. Thank you. I'll upload daily, so hopefully I'll also see you tomorrow.